Have you ever wanted to be like James Harden? Learn some of his signature moves like his double step back. Well, for all things flopping, traveling, and otherwise, you've come to the right place. Hey man, I'm the ISO, and this is my first ever YouTube video. This is my James Harden build video. I hope y'all are excited to get into this. So without further ado, let's go. Alright y'all, so we're in the My Player Builder and we have our boy James Harden. So when discussing James Harden's position, you would automatically think, oh yeah, let's make him a shooting guard. But no, for this build, we're gonna make him point guard. Now why, you may ask? Well, the explanation's pretty simple. It's for the badges. That's it. Alright. So y'all want an actual reason to why I picked point guard other than the badges. Well, he did play point guard in 2017, so there you go. There's your reason. Okay, for the hand and the jersey number, it's pretty self-explanatory. You want to go with left-handed and number 13. So, when looking at James Harden's archetype, it should be pretty clear. You want to pick the one with the most shooting and playmaking. Because, James Harden loves shooting the ball from, anywhere at a very high volume. And he also loves handling the ball and, creating plays for his team. Alright, so when you look at his physical profile, it's pretty clear the one you want to pick. You want to pick the one with the most speed and acceleration. Because, James Harden's not renowned for his vertical or for his strength, as evidenced by but anyway, we're on to the attributes. So for finishing, there's only two things James Harden likes to do when it comes to finishing, and that's driving layups and driving dunks. You won't see him doing anything else. Now, for the people saying, oh, but one finishing badge isn't enough, it really is. I mean, there's only one finishing badge that we all associate with Harden, so yeah, y'all are gonna see that later. But on to shooting. So now when discussing James Harden's shooting, you obviously want to max out his three-pointer because he loves shooting those threes at a high volume with his step backs and double step backs and all that other good stuff. His mid-range, you want to max that out as well because even though he barely takes any of them, he still should be able to hit them at a pretty high rate. Free throw, come on now, like, let's be serious. Yeah, this one should be a pretty self-explanatory. But anyway, post fade, you want to raise that up to about 68, just to get that 20th shooting badge. And then we get to playmaking. So obviously James Harden, his ball handle should be maxed because, he's a very good ball handler with his between the legs crossover, between the legs crossover, between the legs crossover, a dribbling style that, resembles what 2K players like to call a standstill dribbler. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not trying to start a war in my comment section. But James Harden's ball handle should be relatively high. He is a top 3 ball handler in the league, in my opinion, and should be treated that way. Pass accuracy, that also should be maxed. He loves throwing those lobs to Capella or those bullet passes to his shooters at the end of the shot clock so he can get his assists if he's not open. Post moves, just raise that by about 3 to 47 so you can get that 20 playmaking badge. Now, we have 175 attribute upgrades remaining. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, upgrade finishing, or oh, upgrade shooting, or oh, upgrade playmaking. But no, we're upgrading defense. Now, why, you may ask? Good question. But anyway, James Harden's defense has improved over the years. This isn't 2015, he's not going to be on Shaqtin' a fool for his defense all the time. But still, he's gotten better as a defender, due to his experience. So, we raise his perimeter defense. That's a 73, that's pretty average. Raise his lateral quickness. 72, that's also pretty average. his steal, 75. I mean, he does stay in those passing lanes quite a lot. You know, he can get some passing lane steals here and there. Interior defense, 50. I mean, for a 6'5" guard, you would think that's pretty low, but I mean, you know, it is James Harden, so you can't expect much. Defensive rebound. There was that year in 2017 where he nearly averaged a triple-double. You know, I think he was 2 rebounds short. So I do believe he deserves his props when it comes to rebounding. And he deserves a 70. And when it comes to block, raise that to about a 56. And, you know, that's about average for a 6'5" guard. And, oh, what do you know? We somehow have 10 defensive badge upgrades. What a coincidence. So when trying to figure out James Harden's body type, you would ask the question, oh, is compact James Harden's body type? No. Oh, is James Harden's body type solid? No. Is James Harden's body type defined? No. Is James Harden's body type burly? No. So after some research, I was able to come to the conclusion that James Harden is indeed quite the
I don't know what he is, but he is definitely not skinny.
So I came to the conclusion that build would be the most accurate body type for our boy James Harden. Now I know. Y'all must be clowning me and laughing at me and calling me an idiot, but hear me out. So we make him 6'5" like he is in real life. And y'all must be saying, whoa, that's way too much muscle mass to be James Harden. Like he's not ripped like that. But when you minimize the weight in order to maximize the speed, he loses some of that muscle mass. And whenever you minimize the wingspan to maximize the shooting, that looks like James Harden. So now we're at one of the most important stages in creating any My Player, and that is choosing the takeover. Now there's one takeover that stands out from the other two, and that is Playmaker Takeover. And that stands out as the takeover you don't want to pick for this James Harden build. Now don't get it twisted, James Harden can average 7+ assists in practically any season. But a lot of those assists are just last second passes or lobs. Now I'm not saying James Harden isn't a good passer, he is, but he's known as a scorer and pass secondary, so I don't think it would be right to give him Playmaker Takeover. So now it's basically personal preference between Sharp and Shot Creator, really, because I know how enticing Sharpshooter can be with the Hall of Fame Steady Shooter and Hall of Fame Deadeye combo and Sharp Takeover. That's pretty lethal. But the most accurate to James Harden would indeed be the Shot Creator Takeover, because you know, he loves hitting those step backs and his signature double step back. And you know, Shot Creator Takeover boosts all aspects of scoring. And whenever you watch James Harden when he's hot, he can score in any way. He's not just limited to just shooting. He can attack you, he can get to the rim, and he can score at will. So I think Shot Creator would be the most accurate for James Harden. So the archetype it classified this build as is a playmaking shot creator. Now that is pretty accurate, and it compared us to Malcolm Brogdon, Gilbert Arenas, and Steph Curry. You know, there's some pretty average scorers and playmakers, I guess. But not really. That is a pretty good comparison. I mean, they can play make, they can score, they can shoot. That is a pretty good comparison to James Harden. Obviously won't literally say James Harden because, you know, we made him a point guard, so it's kind of not possible. So now when we get here to test the badges, obviously you want to max this out, make it 99 overall. So now we have all these badges we can allot. So let's get into the finishing first. So as I said earlier, there is one finishing badge that sticks out as, you know, the Harden badge. And that is clearly deep hooks. I mean, come on now, guys. Like, James Harden is one of the best post scorers I've ever seen in my life. It's fancy footwork. There's not much explaining to do. You know, Harden hits his Euro steps with his gather step, and sometimes multiple gather steps. So, you know, this is a very accurate badge for James Harden to have. So when it comes to shooting badges for James Harden, I would suggest taking Quick Draw, Range Extender, Hot Zone Hunter, Green Machine, and Deadeye, all on Hall of Fame. Now, if you really want to be cheesy, I wouldn't recommend it, but drop Hot Zone Hunter and Green Machine to silver. Steady Shooter on Hall of Fame. Now, I've seen videos and Steady Shooter does seem to work pretty well with Shot Creator Takeover as well as Sharp Takeover, but I wouldn't recommend it, and I'd just keep Green Machine Hall of Fame and Hot Zone Hunter Hall of Fame. So in my opinion, I would say stick with the big 5 shooting badges. So playmaking badges for James Harden, you want to put quick first step Hall of Fame because he'll be standing in front of the defender usually doing his little size up combo, and then boom, he'll run right past them unexpectedly and get to the rim. You also want to put handles for days on James Harden because he's practically dribbling the air out of the ball every single game, you know. I saw a statistic somewhere that said he dribbled the ball like 500 times in a game, and you know, he loves doing that on a regular basis. You know, he always loves having the ball in his hand, so this is a pretty fitting badge for him. Now, you want to put unpluckable on bronze for James Harden. Don't get it twisted though, y'all. He is still a turnover machine. Anyway, after that, you want to put tight handles on Hall of Fame. That helps with his hesitation moves, and you know, it helps stun defenders here and there. Then you want to put Floor General on Hall of Fame and Dimer on gold. Now, these last two are personal preference. You can really put Floor General on gold and Dimer on Hall of Fame, but the way I'm feeling right now, I want to put Floor General on Hall of Fame and Dimer on gold. Now, for the most marquee and anticipated aspect of James Harden's game, the defense and rebounding. So the very first defensive badge that you want to put on James Harden is Brick Wall, because y'all already know that our boy James Harden is
Fat ass. Nah, I'm playing. He's just not in the best of shape.
Alright, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, I just had to do it. But let's get into James Harden's actual defensive badges. Now, if James Harden were to put 100% effort on the defensive end, I can justify giving him Clamps Gold, alright? No further explanation needed. Anyway, his next badge should be Intimidator Silver. I mean, as we said, you know, our boy James Harden is quite the
I think y'all get my point by now, so yeah.
So next you want to put Picked Out Your Gold, because if James Harden truly put the effort in on the defensive end, he could dodge those screens pretty effectively. Not that this badge works very well anyways. After this you want to put Interceptor on bronze, because James Harden does indeed play the passing lanes and can get those steals from time to time. And the final badge is honestly up to you. I would personally put Chase Down Artist because of its utility in the full court set and the half court set. You know, you never know, James Harden could in the future maybe get a clutch lucky block and you know, save the game and take them to the NBA championship. I highly doubt it, but that doesn't change the fact that this is still a pretty good badge. Alright y'all, so that was my James Harden build video. I hope y'all enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it, bruh. I got more videos coming. Just so y'all know, I play more game modes than just, you know, Park, Rec, and all that. You know, I play more than just the My Career game modes. So I could upload some videos on that in the future. I hope y'all like this video, and I guess I'll see y'all around, man. I'm VISO, and I'm out.